Hey guys, I have a question for you. When you're playing tournament matches, what percentage of the time do you see exactly where the ball is going, and what percentage of the time do you get surprised? Let me give you an example. What percentage of the time when your opponent is pushing, do you clearly see them pushing short to your backhand, or deep to your middle, or deep to your forehand? What percentage of the time when they're blocking, do you see that they're blocking to your middle backhand or wide backhand? What percentage of the time when they're counter looping, do you see them counter looping to your wide backhand or to your wide forehand? What percentage can you clearly see before the point of contact where they're going? And what percentage of the time do you wait till after the ball leaves their racket before you really understand where the ball's going? Think for a minute about your answer, because your answer is vitally important for your improvement. The better you are at understanding your awareness as far as where the ball's going, the better you can know how you should be practicing. So, what is the national average? The national average is when people are playing against people that are similar level to them, about 50% of the time they know where the ball is going, and 50% of the time they're slightly surprised. Okay? Maybe they see that the push is coming here and they're ready for backhand loop, but they got surprised by that block going to the wide forehand. That would be 50%. They were aware of this one, they were not as aware of that one. So why am I talking about this anyway? Because both things are important to practice. Most people fall into one of two ditches. Either they only practice systematic drills, backhand, middle, backhand, forehand, and they get their technique, their balance positioning better and better and better, but that's not like a tournament. That's just their basic technique when they know where the ball's going. Or the opposite, and people think, well, I need to do only matches or only random drills because those random drills will prepare me for a match because I never know where the ball's going. My answer is you need to practice both. It's really important to be able to really hone in on, you see them blocking to your wide forehand or you see them kind of looping to your middle. When you see that the ball is going there, you need to be able to have solid footwork. You need to be able to get there and play the ideal timing, the ideal quality to the ideal location. However, you also need to be able to manage when you get surprised. So, what kind of footwork drills would be something that you could practice your skills when you know where it's going? Well, maybe something like one backhand, one forehand. That's drill number 3 on the Power Pong robot. One backhand, one forehand. So if you're doing a drill like that, what kind of things can you be focusing on? Balance, to be balanced before the ball comes, positioning, to find the exact position that you need to be in, and then timing, to be able to hit the ball at the desired timing. Same thing, get in position for the next ball and hit the quality, the speed, the depth, the location that you want to hit. Should you speed it up? Possibly, but you really are practicing on honing in on those skills when you know where it's going. And as we established a few minutes ago, there are times in matches that you know exactly where it's going. You need to be strong on those moments. What else are some drills that are considered systematic drills or practice where you know where it's going? Well, maybe Falkenberg. One ball here, it's backhand. One ball here, it's forehand. And one ball here, it's forehand. It's a little bit of a longer distance footwork drill, but you should be able to manage it, again, considering the fact that you know where it's going. What about backhand, middle, backhand, forehand? Sure. Or forehand, middle, forehand, backhand. These are all common, what's called systematic drills where you know where it's going. These drills are important for establishing good basics, to establish really good confidence, and especially anytime you're trying to make an improvement or a change in your positioning, your technique, your grip pressure, whatever, it's easier to develop these changes or implement these changes in systematic drills. So if you just practice systematic drills, yes, maybe your technique will get prettier. Maybe you'll be able to implement some new things, but there's not going to be as much carryover to match play unless you do random drills. So an example of random would be full table random, where the ball goes anywhere. Instead of full table random, you could also do random from a certain zone, whether it be random to the forehand 3/4 of the table or backhand 60% of the table. So it doesn't have to be full table random. It could be random within a zone. What's the main thing you have to do well with random? You really want to be able to keep your racket in front, be ready for a secondary adjustment, and possibly even do a more compact backswing. Maybe if you know exactly where the ball is going, you may be able to really take the full stroke, But with random, especially when you're surprised, sometimes it's a more compact backswing, but you still want to make sure that you have a strong follow through. So how do you know when you should spend more of your time on systematic drills, and how do you know when you should spend more of your time on random drills? Well, as I mentioned earlier, anytime you're trying to make a change in your game, whether it be changing your grip pressure, changing your positioning, changing your technique or your timing or your location, anytime you're trying to make a change, it's easier to make it with systematic because you can be consciously aware of your technique given the fact that you know exactly where the ball's at. When else is it a good time to practice systematic? When your ball quality isn't quite good enough. Let's say you're very, very adjustable, but none of your shots have very much speed, or none of your shots have very much spin, or none of your shots are very accurate. Then you would want to spend more time on systematic drills. When would you want to do more random drills? Typically when your technique is more solidified. Typically when you are very consistent on systematic and you're also adjustable to faster or slower systematic, and maybe you're not having the tournament results that you want. Why? Because maybe you don't manage the balls well when you get surprised. That's when you want to practice random drills. Personally for me, I also like to do random drills more as I'm gearing up for a main tournament. The random drills, they more smoothly transition over to tournament play and match play. Why? Because if you're really good when you're surprised and when you're adjustable, then you also should be good when you know where the ball's going. So I would highly recommend that you practice both. Last thing I want to mention before I let you go today is that these systematic or random drills don't just apply to footwork drills. It also applies to all the drills. Let's say, for example, I want to practice my backhand loop. That's one of the things that I like to practice the most. What would I do? If I wanted to do systematic, I would put the ball to one location. Maybe trajectory 100, ball speed 13, ball spin -2, and I would just have the ball go to one location, and I would practice that over and over again. If I wanted to make it more random, I could randomize it within short or long, or to the backhand, or to other locations. So don't think of systematic and random as just being footwork. Systematic and random can apply to anything. Serve return, third ball attack, fifth ball attack, and sequencing everything together in a game. Final thought before I take off here is that Power Pong robots are available in 3 different models. Power Pong Alpha Plus, which is the lowest one, Power Pong Delta, which is the mid-range, and then Power Pong Omega, which is the top of the line robot. In its class, Power Pong Alpha Plus can do more than any robot worldwide. Spin variation, game situations, it really is able to implement more things than any robot worldwide. Delta as well can implement more than any robot worldwide. More spin variations, more degrees of spin, and lots of not only systematic and random, but also game situation drills. The Power Pong Omega is truly the top of the line robot. One thing that separates that robot out from other world-class robots is the updates. In the last 2.5 years, there's been 25 app updates on the Power Pong Omega. So when you get the Power Pong Omega, it just truly keeps getting better and better. These updates are free to all Power Pong Omega users. So if you're not sure which robot to get, you can feel free to get any model, realizing that you can upgrade. So if you get the Alpha Plus or the Delta, you can always upgrade to the next model. If you have any questions about which robot you should get, or about upgrading your current robot, feel free to reach out to me today. I'd love to talk to you. I'll see you soon.